What if I told you having aesthetically pleasing stream doesn't have to cost you a lot of money and it's really not that difficult to set up? Now, what if I also told you I'm gonna teach you in this video? I'm gonna show you how to set up your just chatting screen, gaming screen, a be right back screen, and your starting soon screen. What's going on, everyone? We are currently at the stream setup right now, and we're gonna go over where to get your overlays and also how to set them up in OBS. If you guys don't know how to set up OBS, then please refer to my old video that I just did, the one before this, where I actually show you how to set up OBS and do basic scenes. You're gonna need some of that knowledge for this video, but we're gonna go over how to do that. So let's dive into it. All right, so first things first, couple different places you can get your overlays from. I would choose a pre-made place. So something like Visuals by Impulse, Nerd or Die, even Own TV is another one to do. So let's go ahead and we'll head over to Visuals by Impulse. So you can do basically animated packs. You can do static packages as well. They range from a different variation of prices and stuff like that. Basically, you just want to dive through this stuff. You want to figure out what fits you, what you like and stuff. You can also get badges and other things like that. But let's go ahead and stick over to the overlays. All right, so let's say if we like this one, Paranormal, then we can go and click on it. So this one looks like it's free, so we can just add cart and purchase it. So once you actually purchase the overlay package, they're probably just going to send it to you via email. It's going to come in a zip folder. All right, so this is the one that I actually got a very, very long time ago. So apparently in April of 2018. So it's going to come zipped. All you have to do is just right click and extract. It's usually going to have that just already up there as far as where it's going to go as far as the path. And extract, and then we'll open. Let's go ahead and start creating some of our scenes. So we're going to go ahead and go over a few different things today. I'm going to go over a just chatting screen, a gameplay screen, a BR back screen, and we're also going to do a starting screen as well. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do our starting soon. Type that in, and then we are going to click add. And then what we are going to do is we're going to add a image. We will do soon screen. Once you open this, you want to go ahead and hit browse. And then you actually want to go ahead and navigate over to where you saved those overlays. So go ahead and click on screens, and then we have our starting soon screen. So go ahead and open that. Bam. Now we have our starting soon. Click OK. And there we are. Now, the only problem with this is that if people start chatting in your chat, you're not going to be able to see it. So you actually have to go ahead and grab your chat box. So once you find where you actually want to get your chat box from, I'm just using Streamlabs because that's what I use for my alerts. Then you're going to go ahead and navigate over to all widgets, chat box, and here we go. You want to go ahead and just copy this right here, which is going to be the URL for it. And then what we're going to do is we are going to add it right here by clicking this plus button, browse, then we're going to do chat box. All right, so once you hit browser, add browser source, there's going to be a URL box above this. Obviously, just don't show it to other people because it is unique to you and it's going to mess up a lot of things if you do that. But then what you want to do is I just change it to where it was 600 width and also 1400 height. So that way it fits properly. And then there we are. Bam. You can see that I've been typing a lot of nonsense in my other chat and stuff like that. So perfect. Now, the only problem is if you notice that this box is on top of it, right? So if you go up here, it's actually showing up top and we don't want that. Once the text reaches the top, we want it to disappear underneath it. So again, layering does matter inside of OBS. So make sure you grab the chat box, drag it below. And there you go. Now, technically it is underneath it. So once that text starts reaching the top, see, now it goes underneath it instead of over it, because if you have that chat box above it, it'll do that. So there you go. Now you have your just chatting or your starting soon screen. So speaking of just chatting, let's go ahead and set that up next. Now let's go ahead and do just chatting. And there we are. Now, a couple different things you can do here is that you can actually just use a webcam and then that's it. Just have your webcam and the chat off to the side. That's actually what I do on my stream personally. But also some of them do come with like an intermission or a just chatting screen. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to set that up too, just in case you want to do it. Otherwise, I'll show you how to do it both ways. So this is how you do it with an intermission screen. Go to image again. And then we'll do just chatting screen. Hit browse. And then intermission right here, and bam, there we go. Now I have it set up. So now we would put our webcam there. And the cool thing about this is that once you actually set up that browser source for your chat box, all you have to do is just go to add existing, and there it is. And then all you have to do is just take it over here. Let's go ahead and size that down so it fits appropriately. And again, we're just gonna make sure we drag that below. And there you go, pretty easy. Now let's go ahead and add our webcam. So go ahead and hit the plus button down here. And then this time we're going to be doing a video capture device since it's our webcam. So we will do C920 and click OK. Perfect. All right, so now that we have our webcam added, it doesn't look good here because it's, again, sitting on top of this. So let's go ahead and we will drop it below the just chatting screen. And then we'll just take this and get it to where it fits appropriately. And there we go. So technically, we have our just chatting screen and we have our chat set up as well. And we are now good to go. Now, like I said, this is one version of the just chatting screen. I'm going to show you the other way, which is just your chat and your webcam. So we're going to do just chatting. We're going to call this basic, just in case you don't get a just chatting screen. So again, since we already added those sources, all we have to do is hit video capture, click add to existing, bam. And then there we go. We have my webcam showing beautifully. And now we can just go ahead and do browser source and hit chat box. And then there we are. So you can do this too. Now you can also do like a black border in the back of here, so that way it's a little bit easier to see and stuff. But that's also another version of the just chatting screen. Very basic, very easy to set up. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do your gameplay scene, so that way you can stream some video games. So we have Apex open in the background, and what we're going to do is we're just going to hit this plus button here, and then make sure you go to game capture. Now, make sure you don't do display capture. If you do, just keep in mind it's going to run a lot heavier on your system. So game capture is the easiest way to do it. Again, if you watch my video before this, I show you how to make a folder for all your video games. So it makes it very easy if you want to toggle them on or off. Keep your sources clean down here without cluttering it up. So let's go ahead and add Apex to the list. Go to capture specific window and then do Apex Legends, and bam. Now we have Apex Legends showing up on the screen. Next thing we're actually do is going to add an image source. Now, a lot of these packages will also have a webcam. So let's do webcam border. For the next image we'll upload, go to browse. And then within your system here, you should have some sort of overlay or, oh, here it is, webcam frame. Cool, so I have webcam frame. Now keep in mind, you might have a 4x6 or 16:9. 16:9 is the most popular. Technically, you can use either one. I'll go ahead and actually show you how to do the 4x3. It'll make it a little bit easier. So we'll click OK. We'll kind of find a spot that we want it in. So usually it's off here to the right. And then we'll go ahead and we're good. Now, what you could do here is go to video capture device. Click C920. We are massive. Okay. And then again, you want to make sure that your ordering is proper. So this is below the webcam. And then we want to get it to where it's a little bit smaller. All right. And then what you can do is on a computer or regular PC, you can hold Alt, then just drag this in from the side. Just so that way you can kind of crop it to fit. And there you go. Now you have a gameplay scene where your camera is actually a different size. Then we can go back to our just chatting. And it's the regular size. Now, one last thing I'll show you is that some of them do come with like a BRB. So again, you can either use your intermission as like your BRB, or some of them have a BRB overlay. This one actually has a BRB overlay that I had. So we're going to go ahead and do a image capture, and we'll do BRB overlay. Hit browse. Go back to this, go to screens, and then hit BRB, and done. Boom. And then there you go. This is actually a BRB screen. So that way, if I want this up here, I can then actually add the chat underneath as well too. And then all you have to do is click this icon right here to click it on or off. Now, another cool tip is if you actually have a Stream Deck, you can actually add a button for that. So if you went over to source, you can then go ahead and find that source and then add it within here. Unfortunately, I'm running two versions of OBS, which means this is just having a hard time detecting which one is the correct one, but it won't let me do it on this. But you can do that. And then again, you can actually combine this with your chat screen as well. We can do our chat box. We're going to size this up. And again, we're going to kind of cheat because technically this is way taller. So again, just hold Alt and bring that down, crop it to the right size. There you go. And then you can even, again, we'll just group these together to make it a little bit easier. Group selected items. We'll put BRB right there. And then that way, if I want to do our BRB screen, bam, there you go. Now, also another tip is that when you are adding these scenes, make sure that when you click on it, if you scroll down to the bottom, you can actually go ahead and, oh, there we go. So when you actually look at the top, it says deactivate when not showing. You make sure click this for a lot of them, because if not, then it's going to be running all of these. And as you create more scenes and add more sources, it's going to start weighing heavier on your computer. So make sure that you click that whenever you're adding in those sources, so that way they don't actually continuously stay active and continue like taking up resources. And that's pretty much it. We technically have our BRB section right here. We now have our gaming screen. We have a just chatting basic, the way that a lot of people set it up. And then also if you got a just chatting overlay, this is also a way to set up the just chatting overlay and the controversial starting screen. So now you guys have a way to set up your OBS with all the overlays, where to get the overlays from, and that's pretty much it. God, I never get tired of those demos. How about you, Ted? Just what I thought. He loved it. Anyways, a couple more things I wanted to go over with you guys just before we end this. First off, you don't have to spend a lot of money on overlays. Again, a lot of those packages you saw, even the animated ones, were $40. I remember years ago I spent over $200 on Fiverr to get myself an animated package, and honestly, it was awful. It wasn't great. It was a bad experience. Not saying that Fiverr is a bad place to shop, just my experience with that person I purchased from was awful. My point is, don't feel like you have to spend a lot of money to get a nice overlay package. I almost just said nice package. A couple reasons why you shouldn't be spending a ton of money on this is that number one, you're gonna probably end up changing this in a few months or even just throughout time. Honestly, I use a very basic kind of clean look, or I think it's clean looking, but I use a very basic overlay system for mine. If you ever wanna check me out, go over to twitch.tv/BPala and you can check me out live there and ask me about it. But I go for a very simple kind of like aesthetic to it. And I personally like that a lot. But if you want something that's very animated in a lot of different colors and a lot of motion, then by all means, absolutely do that. Everyone is different. This is your stream. You want to present yourself the way that you want. But again, you don't have to do it for a crazy amount. And don't go spending $200 because again, I never even used that package because it was that awful. But secondly, like I probably would have grown out of it and I wouldn't end up using the majority of it. So I would save a nice fancy overlay that's custom made by an artist for later on whenever you are making a good amount of money and you want to again reinvest into your stream. It's pretty much all that I have. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I appreciate it. If you guys like videos like this one, be sure to hit that like button and also hit subscribe. I really appreciate it helping out the channel. Leave a comment down below. Are there any other places that you find overlays, or did you find this video helpful or not? Let me know so I can keep making videos to help you guys out, and let me know what you want to see next as far as a video review. I'd love to get your guys' feedback on it. Anyways, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Feel free to connect with me some social media down below and go do something amazing today. All right? Adios.